It's important to mention that we can only read comments with human names, the ones based on the subject matter. I have joining me via Zoom, the master himself, JIDE. Good evening, BQ. Hello, BQ, are you there? Good evening, BQ.
Hello? Yeah, good evening. I was just trying to fix the Wi-Fi when you started talking.
Oh, okay. Not so good that we have you back now. Right, so let's get right into the matter. UK-based activist Sandra Duru, also known as Professor Nweke, has claimed Senator Natasha offered her 200 million naira to falsely accuse Senate President Akpabio of organ harvesting and admitting to fabricating the harassment allegations. So, how seriously should you consider or should Sandra Duru's claims be taken? And what weight do alleged call recordings carry in the court of public opinion or, let's say, actual courts?
Well,
Hello, BKO.
an allegation that she's not prepared to prove. Many people are convinced that if you make an allegation public, to make a public allegation against a public officer, you should be ready to provide evidence in public. Many people had demanded for evidence. Up till now, Senator Natasha has not provided evidence. I don't know what she's waiting for. And when people ask for evidence, she tells them, oh, evidence will be provided in court. Nigerians are becoming impatient. They want evidence of sexual harassment provided. They want to see screenshots of WhatsApp messages. They want to see voice recording, voice notes, and all that. As long as you fail to provide that, even when you are in the second month of a 6-month suspension, that you told Nigerians will not stand. You announced to Nigerians that that suspension will not stand. You are 2 months into it, and you told Nigerians that you have cast iron evidence, but you have not provided that evidence. I have demanded for evidence repeatedly, not because I support Akpabio. Akpabio, as I've said on Journalist Hangout, is somebody that is difficult to like. I'm indifferent to him. Anyone who goes over my tapes on YouTube, my videos, you see how many times I have criticized Senator Akpabio. No doubt about that. We are not friends. As an individual, I want him to be accountable just like any Nigerian official. But Natasha is not helping matters by not providing evidence. The day she provides evidence, let her wait to see how some of us will use that evidence. We'll run with that evidence farther than she thinks she can imagine that we can run. Because at the end of the day, we are interested in the facts. And we want this matter put to bed because it's a shame. It puts Nigeria to shame. That in high places, people are discussing sex, people are talking about sexual harassment on governance. That's why many of us want this matter to be put to bed once and for all. And Natasha can deliver a knockout blow to Akpabio by providing evidence, no matter how little. Up till now, we are yet to see any evidence. And the 6 months suspension is going on. Many people said it shouldn't be more than 14 days. I had the lawyers like Femi Falana saying so much about why it is illegal to suspend a senator for that long. But what are we seeing? The suspension is going on. The woman is in her 2nd month. So the question is, are we going to see her go on from 2nd month to 3rd month to 4th month to 5th month and then the 6th month? And after the 6th month or 6 months, what is the guarantee that she will be allowed to come back to the Senate to continue to represent her constituents the way she has done, the way she has impacted on their lives? I mean, this is someone that I've defended in the past. This is someone that I've given her a voice over the years. When she had her issues with the Abelo, she would call me. But what we desire, Natasha is refusing to give us evidence. Evidence of sexual harassment.
By
now,
Senator
when you wait for this long without giving Nigerians the smoking gun that they want to see, all kinds of things will begin to happen. Those who are convinced that there is no shred of truth in what Natasha is saying, they are increasing by the day. More and more people are believing that indeed she has not got evidence. That somebody, I must say clearly, that somebody has not provided evidence is not proof that it didn't happen. I will not sit here and say, oh, she lied. I'm only appealing to her to provide evidence so that we can, so that this matter can be effectively put to bed, so that Nigerians can see whether indeed their number 3 person is guilty as charged. This is the matter that we are talking about. This is what we are talking about. In the course of the week, one Sandra Duru, also known as Professor Mbeke, came out to say, look, Senator Natasha contacted me. I was one of those who worked for her, who supported her in the beginning of this saga. And she reached out to me, asking me to help her push across some of the her claims against the Senate president. Now, when she announced that she was going to have her live on this matter, what clearly got to Senator Natasha, her supporters, and many Nigerians, Senator Natasha then said, no, I do not know her. I've never called her. This was the first claim that Sandra Duru combusted. She provided proof of an incoming call from Senator Natasha. She showed evidence of messages that Senator Natasha sent to her and then deleted when it became clear that she was not going to work for her as she had wanted. She claimed that despite Senator Natasha deleting all of those messages, she already had them documented, had them saved, documented, and presented to the police in Nigeria and the United States and the UK. Sorry. Now, this is not a difficult issue to resolve. The police, in investigating this matter, have the right to get the service provider to release call logs. Although she came, Ongbeke claimed that she had released those call logs to the authorities. But I'm saying that the police and indeed the DSS have the power to demand for call logs from the service provider, if it were MTN or Airtel or whoever, or whichever, they can demand. Will that happen in this case? I have no idea what is going through the mind of the heads of the police, for example. But it's a very simple matter to resolve. A very simple matter to resolve. And I don't think that Nigerians should waste time on this matter. We've wasted so much time. The nation has been put to shame, especially by the fact that this scandal has been externalized. We've seen Natasha go from TV station abroad to TV station. Nigeria has been put to shame over this matter. And that is why Nigerians will be interested in knowing the truth. What really transpired? Is it true that Natasha told Ongbeke, Sandra Duru, that she had no evidence, that she was only trying to teach Akpabio a lesson? The telecom service provider can provide evidence of call termination, of transcript, of conversation between Senator Natasha and Ongbeke. Is an easy thing to do. And I've seen it done even in our country. Those call logs can be obtained directly from the service provider. Once that is done, it puts an end to this saga. If it is produced and the transcript shows the conversation between the two women, and crucially, this transcript shows that indeed Ongbeke was not lying, that Ongbeke was actually appealed to and offered money to say that Akpabio was involved in killing for the purpose of organ harvestation. Matter Even the court cases now, a lot of those court cases will be meaningless, will not be important anymore. So that is why I believe that if indeed Duru had submitted the call logs and other voice notes and all that she had to the authorities, then to the police authorities, then there is no point wasting the time of Nigerians. They should just go straight to invite both parties and let us get to the resolution of this matter. As I've said, as a man, I hate the weaponization of gender. Gender weaponization has sent many men to jail. That is not the same thing as saying, oh, Akpabio didn't do this. I've said before, that would be foolish to say, oh, Akpabio didn't do it. I have no evidence that I didn't do it. But the person who has accused someone must be the one to provide evidence.
Yeah, that's right.
When the state puts an accused person on trial, the state must produce all of the evidence that will lead to conviction. That is the normal thing. So in this case, the accuser should not struggle to find evidence. The accuser should not waste time, file a matter in court, and go ahead, provide the evidence that is crucial to you winning the case against Senator Akpabio. Except if there is a different goal. If the goal is simply to embarrass them, teach him a lesson for having the audacity to tell the Kogi senator to move away from her seat or to remove the Kogi senator from her previous committee headship. If the goal is simply to punish him for having the temerity to do all that, then maybe evidence of this allegation would not be necessary. But I am not Senator Natasha, but as a Nigerian, as a journalist, a fact-finding one for that matter, I want to see facts laid on the table.
Yeah, that's right.
And Ubeke is saying that this is just an infinitesimal percentage of what she had. And in the middle of this, the lawyer to Senator Akpabio is demanding for retraction. Demanding for retraction because according to him, there had been all kinds of contradictory positions by the Kogi senator, and the Kogi senator does not have evidence, therefore, retraction should take place. Before then, Agbakoba, the lawyer to the Senate president, had also demanded for an out-of-court settlement. And many people saw that as a sign that Akpabio was on the defensive, that Akpabio was guilty. I am not encouraging an out-of-court settlement at this stage. What I'm encouraging is for the facts to be laid bare before Nigerians. Nigerians are interested in the truth. And between the two of them, somebody is saying the truth. The two of them can't be saying the truth. One person is lying. We need to discover who indeed has lied.
Yeah, because
we need to see the evidence.
Yeah. Now, Sandra Duru described Senator Natasha as pathological, claiming she confessed there was no evidence of harassment and that Nigerians were simply, according to her, G and H, meaning gullible and hungry. If this is true, what does this reveal, or what does this revelation say about public manipulation and performative victimhood in Nigerian politics? And if false, however, what's at stake for women who make legitimate claims of harassment?
Well, for so long, powerful people in our country, rich people in our country, have been weaponizing poverty in our country. Have been weaponizing the unfortunate state that Nigerians have found themselves. The unfortunate state that they found themselves. It is true that Nigerians are gullible. They don't ask questions. It is true that Nigerians are indeed hungry. Nobody can deny the fact that Nigerians are hungry. Nobody can deny the fact that we are hungry as a people. Many people don't know where their next meal will come from. And that influences even public opinion. That influences people's decisions in their day-to-day lives. So for so long, I had discovered that the Nigerians are gullible. Some of the things that Nigerians believe, some of the things that they run with, even you as a journalist, you shake your head. Because as a journalist, you are trained to fact check. You are trained to do filtration when you come upon stories. And you know that some stories are too esoteric to be believed. The training we got as journalists is not simply to believe. First, disbelieve until you are proved wrong. And that's why when people say, why? As George Bernard Shaw said, you must be ready to say, why not? So it's unfortunate if indeed she said those things, then it shows it's really unfortunate, but I wouldn't even, I wouldn't be so much bothered because I stay in the company of politicians a lot. I know that politicians generally have no regard for the ordinary Nigerians. Politicians are so full of themselves, they have no regard. They just do their thing. They believe that, oh, Nigerians will make a noise. After a while, these things will be forgotten. So I'm not surprised that the feeling is always that, look, if we push this out, solid propaganda, we run with solid propaganda, people will believe. You know? Today, people still believe that the FCC found money hidden away in the soakaway pit. People still use it. They still run with it. And it never happened. The FCC chairman came out to say, no, there was no time that we found money in a soakaway pit. They said one of the former service chiefs hid money in a soakaway pit. It was a lie from the pit of hell. But some Nigerians still talk about it as if it happened. And when you come out to deny, they will not even believe your deniers. They made up their minds to believe. There are certain things that Nigerians make up their minds to believe, influenced by religion, influenced by politics and ethnicity. And they will believe without seeing evidence. But we are saying, telling Natasha, provide this evidence and deliver an effective knockout. Delivered a punch to the solar plexus of the Senate president, if you have that evidence. To those who are saying, oh, she doesn't have to have evidence before the matter is believed. I mean, I think this is ridiculous. Because this is a very grave allegation. And whoever makes this kind of allegation must be ready to prove it. We've seen many women make this kind of allegations in the past, and it turned out to be a lie. Even this same person did the same thing to Reno. That Reno was making a pass at her and all that. And it turned out that on that day, Reno was not even in Nigeria. Reno was representing former President Goodluck Jonathan somewhere outside our country. And the moment it became clear that indeed Reno didn't do this, and Reno provided evidence, including his passport, including his ticket, Natasha deleted everything that she had posted about Reno, including a video that she made attacking Reno's wife. She deleted everything. So we just want to see evidence. Honestly, for me as a Nigerian, I'm tired of this whole nonsense going on. We need Nigerians are interested in governance issues, issues that will make their lives better. But the matter of this sexual harassment has gone on for too long. And for me, the earlier closure is found to it, the better. The better for both of them and for Nigerians as a whole. So the matter has to be investigated, and I believe that providing evidence will help the authorities the police authorities to come to the root of the matter. The cases in court, I'm not against them. I'm not against them. But at the same time, I want to see evidence. There should be one WhatsApp call, at least. There should be a voice note.
Yeah, that's right.
That we can run with. There should be a text message saying, "Oh, when are you going to meet me in that hotel? Come and meet me at so place." Which we need that. We need the evidence. Oh, yeah. When we desperately want to get women in our beds, we know what we say to those women now. And in the days of WhatsApp, it's so easy. People will send those messages.
Yeah, I'm not here.
Huh?
I said I'm not here.
No, I didn't mention you now. I didn't even mention myself. It's just a brotherhood thing. I'm talking about the general brotherhood character. That's right. Brotherhood uses WhatsApp messages a lot, especially when relating with the opposite sex.
That's right.
Whether with your wife or a sidekick, brotherhood uses those messages a lot. So Natasha should bring one of those messages. Honestly, if she brings it, I don't know what she's keeping it for. If she has it, the day she brings it, it will scatter Nigeria.
That's right.
To scatter Nigeria. So we are waiting for her.
Yeah, let me take some comments. Oluwasegun Akinbemi says, my personal opinion, I think that Sister Natasha is a scammer. That's his own opinion. Banji Okesoto says, with Agbakoba request from Natasha, the lie she told on reason for her suspension and the pressure on SB, as the Senate President, to step down over a mere allegation, gives me the impression that the issue is more of politics. Milton Songa says, since that Reynolds incident, I have seen Natasha as a dishonest woman. She knows she's beautiful and knows how to weaponize it to her advantage. Don't be surprised she could provide an AI-generated evidence. Well, that's your thought. Omole James Adeyemi says, BKO, the target is Tinubu. They were just using all these allegations to bring down all the supporters. No evidence anywhere. Oluwasegun Akinbemi says, it's unfortunate that we have such a woman representing a constituency in the National Assembly. Antecedents have trailed her to be a serial blackmailer. Ismail Akikumi says, I don't think there is any evidence to back her claim. So disappointed. Banji, I think I've taken his comment before. Cairo's Voice channel says, Sandra Duru, both Senator Natasha spoke to Professor Beke without knowing it was the same Duru. Ashiwaju Femi, which is the last I'll take for now. Mr. Babajide, I degbado you with my brother. Shout out from Kitengela, Kenya. Right. Thank you very much for the comments. BKO, if you look at this, now, given that Dr. Obi Ezekwesili, for instance, and this other woman, I think Abiola also, especially Obi Ezekwesili, a prominent voice for women's integrity and anti-corruption, openly backed Senator Natasha during a Senate suspension. How does the explosive twist from Sandra Duru, alleging fabrication and a cash bribe offer, reflecting on Dr. Ezekwesili's judgment? Does this controversy risk undermining the credibility of women-led accountability movements she champions?
Well, I am waiting for her. I've known both women, Abiola and Ezekwesili, for years. I've never had this kind of thing said about them. So what I would want to see is a situation in which they defend themselves, they defend their good names in the right way. I have no reason to believe that Ezekwesili is guilty at this point. I do not declare people guilty hastily. The guilt has to be affirmed. Yes, there are many people who believe that Sandra Duru was saying the truth. But there are also people who believe that some of what she said were exaggerated. Again, we will not know the whole truth until the fullness of time. So it is up to Abiola and Obi Ezekwesili to come out and defend themselves. But more importantly, the recordings that were made by Mbeke should be subjected to analysis by the police authorities, by the DSS, so that we will know whether indeed those remarks were made by Senator Natasha. If it is confirmed that those remarks were made by her, then it will be really, really unfortunate. I do not think that Obi Ezekwesili and Abiola, whom I had known for years, fighting the cause of women, pushing for transparency at every turn, deserve to be verbally humiliated the way it's been reported. So I will give them benefit of the doubt. I'm not the sort of person who declare people guilty without empirical evidence. We live in an age in which data can be falsified. So I will leave them to defend themselves. That is my position on this. And as I've said earlier, let the police get down to brass tacks. The police can confirm to us whether indeed they are in receipt of the whether indeed they are in receipt of the recordings that Mbeke
your office and making malicious obstructions to my legislative functions has not been tendered
partially to the public during her live session. The police can confirm to us whether they've received those recordings, and they should tell us what they want to do with it, so that we can have an update on this matter. This matter is a national matter, and it shouldn't be left to Senator Akpabio and Senator Natasha alone when this whole saga comes to an end. I think other people have a role to play in ensuring the resolution of this matter. So the two of them shouldn't be the twin sole determinant of how this matter is resolved. The matter is in public space, and the authorities have every reason to get involved.
That's right. Let me see if I can take one or two comments. It's actually about time. I'm supposed to call it a wrap, but comments coming from Faladi Ayobami. It says, happy weekend to Ibrahim and Babajide. I'm interested in getting to the bottom of this case. If care is not taken, she will ruin our political career. And Chidinma Okoye says, so Sandra Duru wants us to believe she rejected 200 billion naira in this economy. Story for the gods. These elites think we are all gullible and hungry, but it's their lies that are starving us. Ahmed Musa says, whether Natasha lied or not, The fact remains that a woman made a serious allegation, and instead of an investigation, the Senate suspended her. That alone smells of cover-up. Vanessa Onwachuku says, as a Nigerian woman in the diaspora, watching this drama is heartbreaking. If Sandra is lying, she should be sued. If Natasha is lying, same. But the bigger question is, where is the independent investigation? Let me see if I can take a very last comment. Sunday Obasi says, we are now watching Big Brother Senate episode 7. The professor, the seduction, and the suspension. Pass the popcorn. That's an interesting and witty, comment there, BK. Well, I think we have to call it a wrap because of our time. That's our show for today's edition of Issues of JIDE. Special thanks to you, Baba Jide Kolade Otutoju, for those exciting analyses, as always.
Yeah, thank you, Ibrahim, and say a big thank you to our viewers once again. Our own duty is to trigger a discussion of critical national issues. We don't have any dog in this fight. We just want to stay in the middle. But Natasha must provide evidence. All the talk that, oh, she doesn't have to provide evidence before you believe her is rubbish. She has to provide evidence. Nigerians want to know the truth. And we know how long it takes before cases are decided in our country. So telling us that, oh, the matter will be, evidence will be provided in court is lame. You know how to provide everything. Drop some of it. Even if it's true, just a voice note, a WhatsApp message. We will run with it. Leave the rest to us. But to leave us for about 2 months without providing evidence is no. It's not a no. You must bring the evidence. He who alleges must prove the veracity of her allegation. This is where I stand.
Right. Thank you very much. I really appreciate PKO for your time. And thank you to our audience for keeping our company on every edition. You can see the program again anytime by subscribing to our YouTube channel, TVC News Nigeria. Click on the subscribe button to get the latest information. You can also follow us on our social media platforms at TVC News on G, and also at Ibrahim_Shita. On behalf of the rest of the team, I'm Ibrahim Shita. See you again next edition. Bye for now.